What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I want to go over a few tips that I've picked up over the years that have increased my output of training as time went on. I've been weight training for years. I started out very irresponsible. There's a lot of things that I neglected, didn't take the time to educate myself on that would have given me a better output up to this point. Little things that I believe make all the difference when it comes to this sport, because I don't even view it as a sport. I view it more as a lifestyle, a way for people to be more conscious about their health, want to upgrade, want to get better. I just think there's more proper ways to do it, more responsible ways to do it, and I hope to share that with you today. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ethan. I am happy to have you here as always. I do diet videos, I do fitness videos, I do vlogs, I do all sorts of fun content. If you're into anything like that, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Every ounce of support means the world, but I don't want to drag this on. Let's get right into the first tip. Tip number one is to have a proper motivation, a why. What is it that makes you want to come to the gym, take time away from your family, out of your life, and put yourself through hell? Because let's be honest, training is hard, right? Assuming you're doing it properly, training sucks. It's like 2 hours of putting your body through strenuous activity when you could be sitting on the couch with your feet up, with a bag of chips and a beer, watching, what's a good show? Breaking Bad. Any Breaking Bad fans out there? I love that show. It's way easier to do nothing than it is to do something. So what is it that makes you want to go to the gym? Let me tell you a little bit about myself and why I fell in love with bodybuilding, with weight training. Growing up, I had pretty big genetics. I was always bigger than a lot of my friends. However, I didn't really take training seriously, even though I've been weight training for years. I didn't really take the time to educate myself. And whenever I was around friends, I always had a lot of fat. I had my abs glazed over. I had chubby arms, a big face. And I was always afraid to take my shirt off at the pool. I was always afraid to show my body to anybody, right? When I'd get out of the pool at a friend's house, I was one of those guys that had the towel up to my chest. I wasn't obese, but I was self-conscious about my body because I neglected my health. I neglected my well-being, my equilibrium. I played sports in high school, mainly football, and we had these mandatory lifting sessions. So I was working out, but I didn't love working out, right? I did it because my coach told me to, but the more I did it, I noticed I was getting a little stronger. I was kind of able to crack kids on the field, right? And it was a good feeling. I was making progress. I was better than I was the day before. But high school doesn't last forever, so eventually I graduated. But when I graduated, I continued training. I found that I loved the progress. I loved seeing myself get big and strong. Though I was getting big and strong, I wasn't really taking care of my diet, my sleep, my hydration, anything like that. I'm gonna touch on that later in the video, but I was making progress. I was doing more than nothing. So that to me was an amazing feeling. And when the lockdowns happened and the gyms closed down, obviously I couldn't train much anymore. So I was sitting at home, I was letting myself go, and I kind of fell into a pretty dark place. My sister put me onto a few fitness channels, one of which was Greg Doucette. I started doing his diet. I started eating a certain way. And then I started to notice fat melting away. I started to notice a few more veins in my arm. I started to notice my abs poking through for the first time in my life. I looked in the mirror, I saw progress, and I fell in love with it, which is actually why I started my YouTube channel. I started to notice progress in the mirror, and I just wanted to share it. I wanted to be able to take what I love and influence people the way Greg influenced me, as well as other creators. My motivation, my why, is understanding what it's like not working out, understanding what it's like to make the easy decision of not going to the gym and staying home and relaxing all the time. But I started making it a habit. I started prioritizing things, and I noticed not only did I enjoy working out, but it kind of trickled down into every other facet of my life. I noticed I was happier throughout the day. I was more confident with social interactions. I felt so much more capable of taking on things that used to intimidate and scare me prior to loving this sport. I lost weight, I got stronger, I became confident. Obviously, I have so much more to learn, but that is enough for me to know for a fact that I'm never gonna give this up unless I get in like some crazy accident and I can't lift weights. I'll probably find a way to wheel my wheelchair on the treadmill because I just love it that much. Along with that first tip, having a motivation and a why, you gotta be able to remember that. Because not every day you're gonna come down here and wanna work out and wanna hit PRs and put yourself through hell. There's days where you just really don't want to, regardless of how motivated you might feel. You're gonna have dark days. You're gonna have days where you don't wanna get out of bed. The thought of the gym is so intimidating. You might be sick. You might be overwhelmed with life, work, school, whatever it might be. I'll say it right now, I'm personally someone who's not very self-motivated. It's very easy for me to walk down into my gym and just be like, look around and be like, dude, I really don't want to do this. But I don't allow myself to walk away. I don't allow myself to say, screw this and not train at all, because I remember how it feels to not train. I know how it feels to spiral into a place that makes you unhappy, because I'm a firm believer that one good habit can lead to another good habit, can lead to another good habit. And I believe the exact same effect can happen in the other direction, but it's way easier, right? One bad habit can lead to another bad habit, and so on and so forth. So I see what weight training did for me. It made me conscious about my health. It made me want to be a more social, outgoing person. So not only do I physically feel better, but mentally it's done wonders for me. I remember that every time I have a hard time getting in the gym. I remember why I started doing this, the amount of people that have reached out and given me support. And that's my why. That's why I love training. I just want to improve. I want to help others improve. And I want to learn as I go. It's one of my passions. The second thing I wish I knew is that progress was going to be slow. I wasn't going to work out for a week and then look in the mirror and be freaking peeled to the socks. I wasn't going to look like Chris Bumstead. It wasn't going to happen in 1 week as badly as I wanted it to happen in a week. A lot of people who are new to the gym might go to the gym for a week or two, notice no difference whatsoever, and wonder, why am I here? Why am I doing this? I look the same. I feel the same. It's one of those things that you need to be persistent with. I think weight training, I think getting in the gym or even just doing some cardio every day develops rock solid discipline. There is no better feeling than when you put yourself through hell and you see a little light at the end of the tunnel, right? You go to the gym after a month of feeling like it's pointless, but persisting. You look in the mirror and you notice a little less belly fat. Those jeans that didn't fit are suddenly a little bigger on you. You might notice a new vein in your arm. You might notice your face is a bit thinner. And the minute you notice that small difference, it becomes addicting. It becomes something that you want. You want to continue getting better. And like I said in the first tip, is once you become super focused on improving your well-being, it carries over into other areas of life. So if you notice progress in one area, you're going to want to progress in other areas. It makes you an overall better person, but it's not going to happen immediately. You got to be able to put your head down, put in the work for a month, 2 months, whatever it takes to notice that progress. Once you do it, it's life-changing, and it's something that I hope everybody's willing to do, because I know far too many people who have gotten gym memberships on New Year's and went for like 3 days and then kept paying for the gym membership, but just didn't go. It's sad. It breaks my heart, honestly, because I know where they could be had they stuck with it. So be persistent, understand it's not going to happen overnight, and I promise that is going to get you where you want to be. You just got to put the work in. Tip number 3 is do not compare yourself to others. I want to stress this one because it's so easy for people who are new to the gym, so easy for people who don't have Mr. Olympia genetics to go on social media or even go to their local gym, see that one big guy and think, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to look that good. I'm always going to look like this. That is not true. I'm not saying you're going to look like Ian Valere, okay? I'm not saying that. He takes a lot of supplements. Love Ian, but let's be honest. If you're a sophomore in high school who's never worked out before and you look at Ian and you're like, I'm never going to look like that, there's no point. That is going to stop you before you even begin, okay? You can absolutely use that as motivation. You can look to the person to your right or the person to your left and you can be motivated by them. I look at a guy like Ian and I'm like, man, that guy is huge. I'll probably never look like him, but the guy's a beast. Look how hard he works. Look how much he trains. Look how disciplined he is. Guys on the championship level are not comparing themselves to other people. They are looking in the mirror and saying, that right there is my only competition. What can I do today that'll make me better than yesterday? Screw everyone else. It's great to have motivation, but screw everyone else, okay? I'm gonna say it right now. People go on social media, they go through Instagram and they see all these giant, peeled influencers, and I have nothing wrong with people showing off their progress because they worked very hard to get there. But don't look at them and say, I need to look like that or I'm not good enough. There's far too many people my age, younger, older, everybody, it affects everybody, who has this weird body dysmorphia. Like they need to look a certain way or else they're not satisfied with their body. Everyone is gifted with different levels of genetics. They have different potentials when it comes to what they can achieve. That's why you cannot look at somebody and say, I want to be that or else I'm not going to be happy. Focus on you. Focus on what you have to work with and how you can make yourself better. That's all you can do. The minute you compare yourself to somebody, you're not going to feel good enough. And that not only goes for weight training, but that goes for anything in life. Your level of success. I'm not making this amount of money. I must be a failure. I don't have this many friends. I must be a loser. It's suffocating, it's paralyzing, and it'll stop anybody from taking a step towards something that will make them better. Be inspired, but do not compare yourself. I promise you, it's only going to slow you down. It's only going to discourage you. It's only going to make getting to your goals that much harder. I promise. Tip number 4 is be persistent. I feel this one's very important because I'm somebody who operates very well in routines, right? I want to wake up at a certain time, eat at a certain time, train at a certain time, film, edit, do everything on a regimented schedule. I understand that life happens, but it's very easy for someone like myself to have like certain parts of my day get skewed or not go how I pictured it in my head. And it's very easy to throw me off track. This kind of ties into my first tip where I said if you can instill one good habit, it's easier to instill the next good habit, and you kind of crave that success and that progress and it snowballs, but it's that much easier to do it in the opposite direction. If you skip one day at the gym, you're relaxing, you're hanging out, you're doing whatever, and obviously, like I said, that feels better than putting yourself through hell on the bench press. So if you do that once, you might do it again. And the next thing you know, you haven't gone to the gym in a couple weeks, you're up a few pounds, you feel worse. Because I truly believe there's a direct correlation with working out, eating good, and the quality of your life. I don't want everyone to think I'm encouraging you to be this massive bodybuilder. I'm encouraging you to stay in the gym and control what you can control. I know the feeling of being on a roll for a month, getting all my stuff done, getting great workouts, hitting some PRs, just moving up in ways that I want to. And then something kind of comes up in life. It could be a family issue, it could be a work issue, it could be a mental issue, it could be anything, right? Something comes up, and then suddenly every task that you need to accomplish that you were killing a couple weeks ago looks 10 times harder. And then it's very easy to walk away once or twice and say, hey, you know what? It's just, I'm going to relax. I have no problem people taking breaks, having little cheat days, do whatever you got to do, because I feel that's kind of healthy in moderation, but it is a slippery slope. It's easy to cheat a few times and then continue cheating. It's easy to skip the gym a couple times and continue skipping it. Like, say you want to lose weight. Do you think that Monday and Tuesday you eat in your little calorie deficit and you get some good work in, and then Wednesday through Sunday you're eating whatever you want, not training? You think you're going to lose weight just because Monday and Tuesday were good? No. You need to be on your shit all throughout the week. It's easy to fall victim to resistance, but you cannot enable yourself to do so. The more discipline that you instill, the more persistent that you are, the easier it'll be to maintain good habits and stay consistent. I personally find that setting micro goals can make it a lot easier to achieve certain things and stick to certain habits. What a micro goal is essentially saying, I want to lose 50 pounds, right? Don't focus on the 50 pounds. Focus on losing 5 pounds, right? 5 pounds is way easier to lose than 50 pounds. So start small. Once you achieve that, you feel great. You crave that feeling of achieving something. And then you focus on the next 5 and then the next 5. And as time goes on, you become more consistent. And before you know it, you lost your 50 pounds. But don't look at it as some giant, unattainable goal, because that's really, it tends to discourage so many people because they look at the big picture as opposed to the 100 pictures it's made up of. So break your goals down. I find that to be the most effective way for me to stay on track. Give it a try. Tip number 5 is to just get sleep. Prioritize your sleep. I stress this a lot because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to grind all the time and I'm going to get 2 hours of sleep because I'm a beast. No, dude. How are you supposed to grow? How are you supposed to recharge? How are you supposed to have the willpower and the motivation and the energy to take on the next day's task and the next day's task and the next day's task if you're running on fumes? One of the ways that I look at it is you have a car and it has 50 miles worth of gas in it, right? You drive 40 miles. You stop at a gas station to refuel, but you only put 10 miles worth of gas in it. And now you got to drive another 40 miles. How are you going to cover that distance if you didn't put enough gas in your tank? We're a bunch of batteries, man. We got to recharge just like our freaking phones, right? A lot of people are really hooked on the grind, and that is totally admirable. I got no problem with it, but in terms of just physical ROI, you need sleep to recover. You need sleep for your physical well-being, which is a direct correlation to your mental well-being. I totally get the feeling of staying up till 7 a.m. trying to edit a video because I want to put it out. That's the grind, man. Every so often, I'm not opposed to it. You got to do what you got to do sometimes, but don't make it a consistent habit. Try to get 7-8 hours of sleep. Your body will thank you for it. Tip number 6 is diet is more important than training. I promise you that. A lot of people know this, but a lot of people don't. Building muscle, losing weight, getting stronger, it all starts in the kitchen. Now, I'm gonna preface this by saying I don't believe in bad food, right? I think you can eat just about anything in moderation and you're still gonna do pretty good, because at the end of the day, it's about your total energy expenditure and the amount of calories you put in your body. So let's say I wanna lose weight, right? My caloric maintenance is 2,600 calories. I'm eating 3,200 calories worth of chicken, vegetables, all these great whole foods. I'm gonna gain weight and I'm gonna get fat. But if my caloric maintenance is 2,600 calories and I only eat 2,300 calories worth of Oreos and gummy bears every day, I'm not gonna get fat. I'm not gonna gain weight. But it's not that simple. If you want to put muscle on your body, you need to have an adequate amount of protein. Everyone says 1 gram per pound of body weight. That's what I go by, but I usually exceed that because a lot of my meals tend to have a lot of protein. I really like it, but that's a good goal to have. But do not just focus on calories. Do not just focus on protein. My advice would just be don't restrict yourself in any certain area. Don't be afraid of any macro, whether it be fat, carbs, anything like that, right? But also don't neglect your protein or else you're not gonna put muscle on. And don't eat in calorie surpluses regardless of how healthy the food is, because you're gonna get fat, right? Do a little bit of research. There's a lot of great channels out there that are going to give you a lot of dietary information, because I'm not a dietitian. I'm only somebody who wants to give you a little bit of my perspective and what I've learned over the course of my YouTube duration and lifting career. So I think YouTube is a very effective way of obtaining information, assuming you have credible sources. So I'm going to link everyone down below that I get my information from. Obviously, you can go to whoever you feel is best for you, but these are the guys that I watch consistently. So check them out by all means, but you gotta understand that diet is going to make all the difference when it comes to your physical capabilities, because you can train 5 hours a day in the gym, but if you're only eating Oreos and gummy bears, you're not gonna get strong, you're not gonna look good, okay? So make sure you understand your diet. It all starts there. We're on to the last tip. I'm gonna toss something out there real quick. Something that I do all the time that I think is excellent for you, excellent for your well-being, is drinking a gallon of water a day. I talk about it in every freaking video. I'm not gonna pretend to know all the science behind it, but one thing I know for a fact is our body is composed of mainly water, and when we sleep, we tend to put ourselves in dehydrated states because a lot of people gravitate towards things like soda, juice, milk, whatever. Like nobody really goes out of their way to just drink water a lot. So my suggestion to you guys is to get yourself a gallon jug. I call this one my thug jug. For those of you that are wondering, the names on my gallon jug are my Patreon members. I have a Patreon link down below. If you sign up for it, I shout you out in my videos. I have these monthly Q&As and live streams that I do. I also put your name on the jug that I carry everywhere, so you're constantly featured in my content. If you're interested in anything like that and you want to support the channel, I will have that linked down below. And the final tip is to learn to love the process. Seems really simple, right? But a lot of people, they go to the gym out of obligation. They go to the gym because they feel like it's something they need to do when they would much rather be somewhere else. I've been doing it for so long. I've learned so much along the way, and I've noticed so much progress to the point where I love it. I look forward to lifting every day. All the pain and the burn that I feel during sets, yeah, it burns like hell. I think of what I'm gonna look like in a month. I think of what I'm gonna look like in a year. I know that I'm gonna look in the mirror down the line, assuming that I stick to my goals, and be like, I'm so glad I stuck with this. I'm so glad I didn't turn my back because it was easier to do that. But I made the experience fun. I made it something that I looked forward to. I can't really tell you how to do that, because I think it comes down to like personal experience, what works for you. Use working out as a great way to clear your head from the busyness of life. Use working out as a great way to build a friendship or some camaraderie with somebody who's like-minded. Use it as an opportunity to blow off steam from the stresses of life. I understand that when I work out, I'm building discipline, I'm building great habits, I'm becoming stronger, I'm becoming a more well-rounded individual. For me, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day. It's like, boom, I got something done that's really important to me. Everything seems that much more easier or that much more tackleable. Is that a word? I want you guys to comment down below what it is that drives you, what it is that inspires you to continue working out. I want to hear what you guys got to say. There's a lot of different perspectives. I'm interested in all you guys. I might not respond to every single comment, but I read all of them. So Let me know down below, I'm interested. Obviously, there's way more that goes into lifting, but those are the things that I noticed made the biggest difference to me. But I can make more videos like this in the future if you guys are interested. But guys, that is it for me. If you have not already, please drop a like down below, smash that subscribe button, share this video with somebody who needs it, and make sure you turn on the bell so you don't miss more videos like this. Guys, that is it for me. I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Peace.